Do you have a favourite author? A couple of my favourite authors are a guy called Jasper Fforde and Terry Pratchett. And in some of their books, what they both do is they create worlds which have some similarities with our world, but in other ways are quite different, and they have some different rules on how things work and stuff like that. But as you're reading these stories based in other worlds which may or may not have characters who are human in them, one of the things you realize is that within the storyline, within the story that you're reading, actually the author is talking about something else and not just the plot of the story. They're talking about, yes, they're talking about the plot in the story that they're unfolding, but they are referring or trying to make points about things which are true in our world. And so they might be making points about the way that the political system works, or certain aspects of human character, or things about diversity, as just three examples. And I think this is one of the ways in which the parables work, is that we read these stories which Jesus is teaching to have a point, and then we suddenly realize that Jesus isn't just talking about this thing in the story, but he is actually referring to something that is true in our life. And on Sunday we looked at the parable of the lost sheep, the lost coin, and the lost son. And I wonder, when the religious leaders were listening to the third of those parables, where Jesus does something a bit different at the end, they suddenly clocked, hang on, he's talking about us. Up until that point, they were going along with this story, and then suddenly, as Jesus reaches the end of the third parable, they think, hang on, he's talking about us here. And I think we're supposed to read the parables in that way, and we're supposed to, when we talk about reading them prayerfully, I think one of the things we need to do is to ask God through the Holy Spirit to open our eyes, open our minds, open our hearts, so that as we read these stories, we actually think, hang on a minute, he's talking about me. He's talking about this in my life, or this situation in my life, and then have the courage to think, well, what is Jesus trying to say to me through this story, and then as a consequence, what do I need to do about it?